So I got my PhotoMechanic open. I'll show you a few basic, quick setups. This is something that really you want to do before you even get to the event. So really, first thing you want to do is just set up your FTP. So you'll come up here and you can go to File, and then FTP Photo As. And it's going to pull up your FTP settings. You'll be able to find all of this information in the Icon SportsWire website, and I can try to find it and send it to you in the email also. But really what you're going to do is selected uploader. You can go to FTP, not FTP version 6 or anything else. Some companies use like Photo Shelter. You could send it straight to their Photo Shelter. But for Icon, you're just going to use FTP. And then you can click on Connections. Connections is basically what's going to set up all this down here below. But you click on Connections. You're going to use Icon SportsWire. And then you're going to use photofile.iconsportswire.com. And then whatever your login information is for Icon SportsWire. So however you log into Icon SportsWire, this is what you're going to use. So your login and password. And then you're always going to use port 21. And then you're going to copy your photos directly into destination folder. And that's all you need to do. Once you set all this up, you just say, okay. And then you can send over RAW and JPEG. Honestly, it doesn't matter. The way I do it is once I edit my photos in Lightroom, they are saved as JPEG, so only JPEG folder or photos are going over. But otherwise, I just say RAW and JPEG. And that's pretty much it. That's all you need to do on this page. Make sure it says rename file before uploading. This way your files are renamed and you're not copying over another file name that's in there. Basically what's this saying is if you name a file and you send it in, there's already a file there. This will rename that file so you're not copying over something that's already there. And that's all there is to it for FTP stuff. So once you set that up, we'll just click close. And then once you do that, it'll always stay there. You never have to redo it. The only time you have to redo that is if you're FTPing to, I don't know, say a local newspaper or something else. You'll have to change it out. But otherwise, that's permanently there. The last thing you're going to want to do is you're going to set up your metadata template. So I've already got it in there, but basically what you would do is try to copy a caption that you've used in the past. It'll make your life a lot easier, and just switch out the specific information. But then you just clear your whole thing, and then you're going to load your caption for whatever event you're doing. So in Icon, when you get the request, there will be a caption template in there. You're just going to download that and save it to your desktop. And then once you do, you just find the file, you open it, and you'll see that your information is in here. You'll notice that this is really all that's given to you to start the base of the caption. So now if I take my old caption and I just kind of paste it back in there, because basically no matter what happens, so-and-so scores a goal, so-and-so brings the ball down the field, whatever the case may be, you're going to end your caption with during a soccer match, during the Charlotte FC and the Columbus Crew, at the date, at the location, in the city, so on and so forth. So now my life's pretty much easier because it's already in there, and I don't have to type this in every single time I caption a photo. Now all I got to do is add this beginning stuff. You want to check and make sure that the date and the teams are correct, make sure the location is correct, make sure the the copyright stuff is correct. I've never had any issues with this, but it doesn't hurt to double check it. Once that's in there, you're good to go. We can close this out. Now you'll notice that I have the Charlotte FC and Columbus Crew in here. So this is between the Charlotte FC and the Columbus Crew. There's what's called code replacements. If you're not familiar with it, I definitely suggest looking into that. It's something super, super easy. But ultimately, it's just a shortcut. So I can say period, between, period, and you'll see how it automatically populates the Charlotte FC and the Columbus Crew. So I could say if I'm talking about a specific player, so I could say for Mackenzie Gaines, it'd be C17, period. And you see how his name appears. Mackenzie Gaines is number 17 of the Charlotte FC. So it just kind of auto-populates it in there for you. So when you get smooth with that, it'll make your captioning a lot faster. So the way to set that up, let's close our template here. You're going to come over here to Edit, come down to Settings, and Set Code Replacements. So in here, I've already got it saved. Basically, you can go to codereplacements.com. It is a paid website. I don't know how these guys do it if they don't want to pay for it, but I pay for it. It's not much. I think it's like $50 for the year. And basically, you just search the teams that are playing, and you put it together. You'll have a chance to edit the roster if there's some new players. So don't always double check your roster. Once you have it where you want it, you just download the file and you save it to your desktop. And then you just click Add, upload that file, and you're good to go. So after this game, I'll basically just click on it, remove it, and delete it, because I'll probably never need this one again. But that's how you get it in there. If you remember, I did a period between BTW period. This is where you set it up. So if you're more comfortable using, I don't know, like an equal sign, then use the equal sign. It's whatever you are more comfortable using. For me, it's just using the period. But it's completely up to you. Then when you're done, you just click OK, and now you're all set and you're ready in there. So you've got your metadata template set up, got your FTP set up, and you've got your code replacement set up. So now that you're good to go, all you gotta do is go to the game and shoot. And then at halftime, let's say it's halftime, you're ready to upload your photos and send in a couple for FTP. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my memory card. And as long as you got PhotoMechanic already open on your computer, this screen is going to pop up. Couple things to look at here, so you can see your memory card name. So if you got multiple memory cards, you can click on the memory card that you're looking for. Basically, the only things that you really need to make sure is that you're copying directly into a primary and secondary folder. Reason being, if you look at my screen here, I've got a Charlotte FC folder already created. So you could name it Charlotte FC first half, Charlotte FC second half, however you want to do it. Primary destination, so this is how I select what folder I want to upload it into. So I'm going to upload it into the Charlotte FC folder, and I'll click open. Copy locked photos only. This way, as you're shooting the event, you tag photos that are really good, and you're not just copying every single folder you have in there. Because if you're like me, I just kind of spray and pray. So you don't want to have too many folders in there, or photos. So I only copy the locked photos, so I'm only working with the really good ones. Post game, I'll go through and look at all my photos, but just to get these out super quick at halftime, I'll go through only my locked photos and hope I lock a good one. You can copy raw and non-raw. Just depends on if you shoot in raw or if you shoot in JPEG. Totally up to you. You can add your metadata template, so the thing that we set up, you can add that to your photos straight from here. I won't do it just to show you another place where you can upload it, but you could just click this and your metadata template will appear. And that's all there really is to it. And then all you do is you click ingest. When you click ingest, you'll see your photos appear. Down here in the bottom left, you'll see your tasks bar. Sometimes it can take a little while to upload. But you can see that's complete and I'm good to go. So here's all my photos. So ultimately, now if you come back to my folder over here that I created, you'll see here's my 10 photos or whatever that I uploaded. All I would do is take this and I would drop these 10 into Lightroom and just go do a quick touch up. I'd make sure that the photos are straight, the colors are good, I'd crop it to where I need it. Quick basic edits. This is why you only want to do maybe up to 10 photos at halftime and not 20, because otherwise it could take you a really long time and you're not going to get done before the game starts. Once I'm done editing in Lightroom, I don't have to worry about copyright information or any of that. All I do is I just export it, and I'll export it into my final folder here. So here's now my edited photos that I used in Lightroom. Coming back over here, I'm just going to click this plus sign and open up a new tab. And then what I'll do is I'll take that final folder and I'll drop it in. And now you can see here's my edited photos. I only edited one, but you get the point. So now that they're in here, I really don't have to worry about these anymore. I can delete that tab or keep it if I want to. It doesn't matter, because these are the only photos that I'm working with. These are the edited ones I use from Lightroom. First thing I'll do is I will click on all the photos that I'm ready to capture and send in FTP. So first thing I'm going to do is highlight them all, right click, and apply metadata template. I'll say, yes, I am sure I want to apply it. And now, that template that we created is going to be attached to all of these photos. So if you go in now and you click on the little eye, you'll see that the template is already created. So now, all I got to do is basically finish my caption. So I know this is Mackenzie Gaines, so I'll just say C17. I don't know, plays defense. Of course, I'll make a little bit more thorough of a caption, but you get the general idea. So he plays defense during a soccer match, yada, yada, yada. And that's all I've got to do. Once I put that caption in there, I come over here. Make sure you click save and move over. Don't click the arrow because it won't save. So save. Now I come to the next photo, and I'll do the same thing. So it's C17 brings the ball down the field. Always make sure that you check your spelling and whatnot. I've done that a plenty of times where I've missed my spelling. So double check that. But that's it. So then I go to save, go to the next photo, and then I do all my photos. Once I get all the way down to the end, you'll know you're at the last photo because now it just says save and you can't move over. So I just say save, I'm good. I'll click OK. And now I'm done captioning all of my photos. All I have to do is rename it now. To rename it, you basically want to take your most newsworthy photo first. So, I don't know, we'll just say this one's our most newsworthy photo. I'll take it and I'll right click and rename photo. Before I do, you can see the file name of the photo is right here, so just keep an eye on that. Rename photo. You're always going to have your photographer code, so your 3 digits first. And then it's going to be year, month, day. You want to make sure you set a sequence. So check this. And then the last is going to be _ Charlotte _ Columbus Crew. So you can look this up on Icon. Normally it has the shortcut, 3-digit letters for the team names. So just look that up on there, the abbreviations. And then to set your sequence, I'm going to set sequence. You can do it as 01 for your first folder. But just keep in mind, if you think you're going to have more than 100 photos, then you want to have 001 as your first photo. And then you say, okay. And so the sequence now will update each time I upload or rename a photo. So I'll say rename. Now you'll notice down here, the photo renamed as ECO, year, month, day, and then 00, there would be a 1 right here, and then it's got the team name. So now I just go back, rename all the other ones. So I'll highlight them. I'll click rename, and the sequence will now go to 002. Third photo will be 003, so on and so forth. So it kind of updates for you. I'll just click rename, and now you can see that it's updated all the way. So here's 001, 002, 003. You would see it, but the title or name's a little long, so it cuts off. But that's it. So now I've edited my photos in Lightroom, I updated the caption, and I renamed it. Now I just highlight all of the photos that I'm ready to send in FTP. I right click. I go to FTP Photo As. You'll see the information that we set up before. All I do is come down here and click send. Once I click send, my taskbar that's over here on the left, you'll see that it's FTPing, it's sending over, and once it's done, it'll say complete, and then you're good to go. The only other things that I'll tell you with this is when you send FTP is you need to have good internet connection. Even though maybe it's just 10 photos, it can take a hot minute for it to send in. So if you have a hotspot or something, sometimes I suggest using that. Most NBA and NCAA facilities will have good internet, but if you're at a smaller school or you're out in the middle of a field somewhere where you've got no internet, you may not be able to send in your photos. I've tried to tell Tim from Icon that, hey, look, there's no internet. I can't send this in. He basically told me, well, that's my problem. I better buy a hotspot. So just kind of think about that beforehand. So just try to send yourself an email or something. Maybe before the game, just to check the internet connection. But that's it. So now that I'm done and I send in my photos, I'll back out of this. and I'm done. I'm good to go. I can go back out. I'll shoot the next half, and then just repeat that exact process after the game. So I'll send in 10 at halftime. I'll send in 20 or so after the game, and then I'll go home, and typically the next morning I'll go through all of my photos, and I'll send in about 50 that are decent newsworthy photos. So for example, you'll see this photo and this photo are pretty much the same. They'll get pissed at you if you send in both of these photos because it's pretty much the same photo. So try to send in different photos and make sure it's newsworthy. So think about it from an editor standpoint. Can he look at this photo and tell a story by it, or is it just a cool shot but there's nothing there? Maybe I wouldn't send that in. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that helps. I'll send you a couple links in the email to help you find the FTP stuff, and let me know if you have any questions.